Hi, welcome to this Blender video tutorial entitled Duplication. Blender provides a number of methods for duplicating objects. To demonstrate the duplicate tools, I've placed 3 monkey objects in my Blender scene. To duplicate an object, simply select it and press the duplicate button located in the 3D Viewport Tools panel. The shortcut for this command is Shift-D. Immediately upon pressing the duplicate button, Blender creates a duplicate object and places it in the same space as the original object. It also places it into grab mode. You can move your mouse to see the duplicate object and left-click to place it. You can constrain the movement of the duplicate object by following the command with either the X, Y, or Z key. Here I will select the original monkey object and press Shift-D, followed by the X key. This constrains the duplicate object to move along the X-axis. Duplicate objects created with either the duplicate button or the Shift-D Blender shortcut are independent objects. Note that Blender automatically names the duplicates using the .001, .002, and so on suffix. Any transform, move, rotate, or scale, or any modification or edit done to the duplicate will not affect the original or any other duplicates. For instance, I will select the last duplicate, monkey1.002, tab into Edit mode, select some vertices, and then move them. I will then add a blue material to the object. Note that the original and the other duplicate objects were not affected. Now, even though the duplicate objects are independent of one another, the original mesh data and the original material data is duplicated. For instance, here is the Monkey 2 object. The Monkey 2 object has a red material attached to it. I'll select it and press Shift-D and make a duplicate object. Notice that the duplicate shares the same red material. If we look at the Outliner panel and expand the Monkey 2 object, we see that the Monkey 2 object comprises a mesh named Mesh.001 and a material named Material.001. Now if we expand the Monkey 2.001 object, which is the duplicate object, we see that it has a different mesh named Mesh.005, but shares the same material named Material.001. This means that we can edit the mesh of one object without affecting the other object. However, since they share the same material, any changes made to that Material.001 will affect the other. For instance, with the Monkey 2.001 selected, I'll change Material.001 to a blue material. Notice that the original monkey object is now also blue. In this sense, the duplicate object is really a shadow object, sharing some of the data with the original. In such cases, you may want to delete the material from the object and create a new material. Once the objects no longer share the same material, the material can be edited separately. Blender provides another duplication tool called Linked Duplicate. Linked duplicates are clones that share the same mesh data. To make a linked duplicate, select the object and press Alt-D. Immediately upon the command, Blender creates a linked duplicate object and places it in the same space as the original object. It also puts it into grab mode. You can move your mouse and see the linked duplicate object and left-click to place it. Now if we look at the Outliner panel and expand both the Monkey 3 and the Monkey 3.001 objects, we see that they share the same mesh block. Any edits made to the mesh block by selecting either of the objects will result in changes made to both objects. For instance, here I will select the monkey3.001 object and tab into Edit mode. First, notice that the original Monkey3 object displays a Shadow Edit Mode mesh, although no vertices are selectable there. I'll select some vertices on the Monkey3.001 object and move them. Notice that the Monkey3 object has the same result. This is because they are sharing the same mesh block. I'll deselect the vertices and tab back into Object mode. If I add a material to one linked duplicate, the material will be associated with the other object. This is because the material data block is associated with the mesh data block. I'll select the Monkey3 object and add a magenta colored material. Note that the other linked duplicate object has the same color as well. If we look in the Outliner panel, we see that they share the same material data block. Now, even though the linked duplicates share the same mesh data block, they are still individual objects, and as such, object-level transformations like translate, rotate, and scale are still separate. For instance, I will select the Monkey3.001 object, and while in object mode, I can press the G key and move it. I can press the R key and rotate it. Or I can press the S key and scale it, without affecting the other linked object.